Today we're going to talk about lateral thinking and how it can be the key to making you rich. Coming up next. Hi everybody, my name is Dee Burks and this is Retirement Rescue, where we talk about how to make money, save money, and create a retirement from nothing. Well, everybody's always looking for that next big idea, the one that's going to take you from nobody to being really rich. But in order to come up with those big ideas, we have to understand how we think. Now, a lot's been said about linear thinking. Malcolm Gladwell really talked a lot about this in his book. That's the idea that you get an idea, you work on something, you put in 10,000 hours, and you become the expert at that. And he uses examples like Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos, who created Amazon. You know, all these people who created these humongous, valuable companies, and they started in their garages, right? Well, I'm not Bill Gates, neither are you, probably. I'm also not 20 years old, and I have no desire to go invent something in a garage. Not my thing, right? So how do you come up with the next big idea? Well, one of the ways you do that is, instead of thinking in a linear fashion and trying to build something from nothing, you think laterally. Thinking laterally is thinking creatively. And the old cliche is thinking out of the box. Now, even the most creative people tend to come to the table with this whole list of assumptions. These are the boxes in our minds. Oh, we have to start at 20 to create something big. Maybe that's a box you have. Oh, you have to have a college degree. Maybe that's a box you have. Some businesses have a better chance of success than others. Better to be in IT than restaurants. These may be some of the boxes you currently have. The funny thing is, we don't even realize sometimes all the boxes we have. A lot of them were created when we were kids. They're things we've heard from other people. We don't even realize we have them, but they end up holding us back. I mean, how many times have you been sitting around with a friend, and maybe this friend says something like, you know, I'm thinking about starting a restaurant or a food truck. And the first thing out of your mouth is, well, you know, most restaurants fail in the first year. How do you know that? That's something you have heard from other people. You don't even realize the box is there. But these boxes keep us from seeing our next big opportunities. Now, let me give you a couple of examples of how this can work. Now, sure, if you create something from nothing, it may take you 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. If you're in IT, maybe it takes 5 years. I mean, it's a much shorter timeline. But there are lots of opportunities to take what someone else has done, change it a little bit, and this is the key, solve a problem we all have. Now, here's an example. Let's take Chewy.com. I love Chewy. Everybody loves Chewy. It's all about pets. Who doesn't love their pets? Chewy did not create a new product. They did not create selling online. These were things that existed. All they did was curate products, collect products that involved pets, and make it easy for you to get pet supplies delivered to your door. So what problem did they solve? Well, at that time, when they got started, Amazon wasn't shipping heavy things. In fact, for a long time, they wouldn't ship furniture, they wouldn't ship dog food, or if they did, they charged you an arm and a leg. Well, Chewy made that easy. One of the problems a lot of pet owners have is going to the store, schlepping bags of dog food from the store to the car, from the car to your house. And if you have a 4-floor walk-up, that's ridiculous. Or you live in an urban center where you don't have a vehicle to tote all that stuff around in. It's a problem, and it's a big problem. They solved it instantly. They solved that problem. And by curating everything that you want for your pets in one location, you don't have to go to all these other retailers and try to figure out who has what. It's all in one place. They solved several problems, but they didn't create anything. They didn't invent anything. And they did connect with pet owners in a way online retailers weren't doing. That's all they did. It only took them a few years to sell that company for almost $5 billion. That's all they did. They didn't create anything. They didn't spend 10,000 hours. They just fixed a problem. That is lateral thinking at its best. Solve a problem. Another really great example of solving a problem we all had is Ring. You know, they created a security system where you could see who was coming to your door, what packages were being delivered, and they made it easy. You could see it in real time. You could talk to that person. You could scare them away if need be. You could call the cops if they were trying to break in. All these things that solved a basic problem. And the basic problem was, what's going on at my front door when I'm not there? And how do I see that in real time? Now, security systems have been around forever, but none of them had solved that one problem in a cost-effective, real way. That's all they did. They didn't create the idea of security systems. They didn't create the idea of even seeing those on your phone. They packaged everything together in a way that solved the problem of who's at my front door when I'm not there. So how do you do that? Every single one of us has had an experience where we have been frustrated. We couldn't find something, we couldn't buy something, the experience wasn't good, we need something we can't find. All of these things are opportunities. Every time you as a consumer of anything have a frustration, that's opportunity knocking. And here again, one of our boxes is, oh, well, you know, if it was a good idea, the big stores would be doing it. No, that's not what happens. As companies get larger and larger, they become less and less creative. They go from being a company that made its footprint perhaps by being unique, and as they go along in their life cycle, they become more and more homogeneous. Let me give you an example. Not long ago, my oldest daughter got a new apartment, so we went out looking for, shower curtains, rugs, blah, blah, blah. And we went to all these different retailers, and we went to a bunch, Bed Bath & Beyond, and Kohl's, and Target, and the typical big box stores looking for these items. Well, guess what? Every big box store has not only similar items, a lot of times the exact same items in the exact same color palette, and the options are very tiny. It's all the same. Well, guess what? They've all now lost their differentiation. Why would you go to Bed Bath & Beyond if you can get it at Target? Why would you go to Kohl's if you could get it at Target? Why would you go to Target if you could get it at Walmart? By becoming incredibly homogenized and trying to all do the same thing, it has turned off the buyers. And when you have that kind of frustration where you go in and you can't find what you want in the color that you want or the style or you want, that's opportunity. You can now create those things. You can now fill that void. That frustration you had is a void to be filled. So that's what I mean when I say lateral thinking actually makes you rich, because it is how you solve common everyday problems. And solving those problems is where the money's at. It's not coming up with the one big idea that you work on for 40 years. It is coming up with a solution to problems we all have. And think about the things that frustrate you, that irritate you, the things you can't find when you go shopping, the things that you're not able to access or do easily. Those things are your next big idea and will make you the next billionaire. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please click subscribe, and I'll see you next time.